You're on the air now, I think.
Hi, welcome back to Metal Rule TV, where the underground meets the playground. Rise, fall. I'm Jeff Rappaport.
Matt Gibbons.
Necrodemius.
Lawrence Wells.
In the news, Nebulous is a technical death metal band.
Uh-oh. Technical death metal?
You're not a fan?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay, I will tell you right now, to me, technical death metal represents...
The end of time?
Trying to cram 2,000 notes into one riff and calling it death metal. To me, death metal came from the 90s and ended when everybody and their mother wanted to play death metal and they wanted to try to play better than most of the bands that were out there doing it. So, for all you kids out there that supposedly love technical death metal, to me, death metal is Unleashed, Entombed.
What you like is shit, is what he's saying.
That's right. It's shit. Go by death. That's all you really need to know about technical
But what
death.
about death? What about when death started getting technical?
Not as technical as these bands.
Would you consider Spawn of Possession to be one of the bands you're talking about?
They're a Unique Leader band, aren't they?
No, they're on Relapse. They're
Weren't they on Unique
Yes.
Leader? Oh, so good.
You are totally good. I love
Unique
Spawn
Leader
Possession,
seems to be the new place for technical
place,
death
yeah.
metal. And they weren't. They used to be a brutal death metal place.
Yeah.
Didn't they, back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Way back in the day.
They had Deeds of Flesh. They had more.
Right.
Than,
I mean, they were the label to go
Decrepit
to
was
like
on there.
back in the 90s, man. Just they had of course Dismember, one of my favorite Swedish death metal bands. I think they also,
I actually do not like Dismember as much as the other bands.
Really?
We had this conversation a couple weeks ago.
Yes, we did, yes.
They're actually on my bottom of the Swedish death metal bands.
Okay,
With Grave, Entombed, above them. Who else were we talking about? Unleashed. I love Unleashed. They're
that's my number one band. As a matter of fact, Odolime is definitely one of my top 10 albums of this year. Okay, I'll tell you what. Have you ever listened to Carnage?
Yes.
Carnage is pre-Dismember, basically.
Yeah.
So, to me, what would you
I
prefer?
like Carnage better than Dismember.
Carnage, definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to Dismember, really, I mean, I would go for like the first 3 albums, like an Ever-Flowing Stream.
I do like the album. I just don't think they're as good as the other bands.
Desolatory, maybe?
No.
Desolatory.
I know you're looking for that shirt too.
Oh, you gotta be kidding! How can you not like Desolatory?
I don't say I don't like them. They're just not one of my favorites.
Okay, what would be your top 5 death metal bands then? From Sweden.
From Sweden, Entombed, Unleashed,
Okay.
Grave.
Okay.
I don't want to leave anybody out. Who am I missing, Matt? You know me pretty well. Who am I missing?
that you like from Sweden?
I'll start throwing names out.
Throw
there.
names out.
Gorment.
No.
Let me see. Afflicted.
No.
I haven't got them either.
Oh man. Edge of Sanity.
No.
What?
Not my top. You're asking me for my top 5, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. You got your top 3. That's close enough.
Yeah. I mean, those. I don't know if they're my top 3, but those are bands I really like. Go-to bands that I listen to all the time.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite Swedish death metal band would be Desolatory.
I know I'm missing something though. Something I
You
listen
got
to
like
a
the
lot.
major ones.
Yeah. I know I'm missing something
Something
major.
you listen to a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
would not
my
be
fault.
considered melodic
Tiamat,
bands?
maybe.
No.
Tiamat was all over the place. With their stuff.
Yeah, and they were only
They were
death
black
metal in the
metal and
beginning,
they were
and then
Depeche Mode.
Right.
Candlemass?
No.
No, that's too metal.
Opeth.
No, Cody, crazy. You know I hate you.
That was on purpose.
Damn you, woman.
The hot dog song.
The hot dog song, yeah.
That's very death metal, man.
You're cute when you say Candlemass, honey.
Candlemass.
You say,
Okay,
Bloodbath.
She got the right country though. Weren't they from Sweden?
Bloodbath?
Yeah, of course.
I
Definitely.
love Bloodbath.
Even though they're stylistically more like American.
Bloodbath.
I wouldn't say that.
I honestly would have to disagree with you on that. I actually like the dude when the main guy in that band actually does a band called Bewitched.
Bewitched I like too.
Bewitched was awesome.
Yeah, Bewitched was good.
I think he also did, doesn't he also do Catatonia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
guitar,
mine
the
is
guitarist and the
Catatonia.
bassist are from Catatonia.
Yeah, I like Bloodbath. Just it was like a really good look back.
The only Bloodbath
Semi-massive.
the only Bloodbath that I like is the EP, really, because
EP is awesome. He doesn't want
Breeding Death.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it sounded so. It
I like
sounded
the full length.
it really sounded so much that like everything that came out of Sunlight Studios back then. Oh, I also forgot to mention another band, Cemetery.
Yeah, I like them. Not my top 5.
Okay. That's another Sunlight band. I mean, all the good bands that were from Sweden actually recorded in that studio, and to me...
The Go-Go's, that was it.
Oh, the Go-Go's, of course.
Because they got the beat.
They did. They got the beat!
Yeah.
They also had the video back then, too.
Yeah. And they were really hoarse.
Yes. Belinda Carlisle was pretty hot, though.
Yeah.
Did you see her Playboy? I have it somewhere.
I forgot what band we're talking about. Oh, let's bring it back a little bit.
Nebulous or
So
something?
Nebulous.
Nebulous would like Belinda Carlisle's boobs as well.
Yeah. They're a technical death metal band.
Okay.
The new album coming out in 2013 is called... You know, one thing I don't like about technical death metal bands? They have to have really technical album titles.
Yes. The
This is called...
perseverance of the ball sack. Of
Right. The
body
Quantum Transcendence of Death.
Yeah,
That's a little much.
too much.
Quantum Transcendence.
You
just sounded like
Can you explain to
Larry
me
David
what
just
that
now.
means?
No.
No,
It's a little much. It's a little much for my feeble little
You
brain.
just sounded like Larry David. It's a little
Yeah.
much.
It's a little much.
It sounds like you have to watch Star Trek to understand what that means.
So what
Tachyon vibrator.
I actually sat down and listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were really good.
Cool. Would I like it, probably?
Yes. Where I wrote is sometimes I find it sad that talented bands like this never get heard because it's like you're a perfect example of what I was talking about because even like metalheads, some metalheads don't even want to touch this technical death metal. They're in such a small thing,
it's
like
a niche.
like they're like metal, real like true like death metal guys who are like, oh, that's too technical and too much for me, and
They
nobody
have talent. I can't.
right,
God,
and
God.
nobody else is going to go anywhere near it. It's not like you're going to get like guys that are listening to One Direction or any of these Hot Topic bands to sit down and listen
try
to
a little
it.
It's not that I think...
So they're in like such a small thing. They're like, okay, you're in a metal band. Okay, so you're already in this small little thing. Okay, you're in a technical little band. You're over here. You're like, it's like there's like zero audience for it almost. Like
Well, I can honestly, I mean, the only reason I can say I really don't like technical death metal is because, like I said, when I started really listening to death metal, it was like the mid '90s, and to me, that the music back then had more emotion and more feeling. The stuff that they're doing now, it's just like, oh, let me just see what riffs I can throw together to create like a brutal riff, and there's really no feeling behind it. And a lot of these bands are just doing it to try to outdo each other, you know.
well, this to me, it didn't sound like an Ingve speed contest. It sounded like it was it was really good. It's just like to me, if you're going to do technical death metal, you have to still have the death metal sound, which means you still have to sound like a death metal band. You still have to have good riffs. You can't just be like, I don't want to hear a fucking freefall jazz band, technical jazz. I want to hear good. As long as you can do some funky shit, like Atheist and some of those other bands, but keep it in
the family.
where there's like something that I can get into, where there's a hook. I need the hook. And that's also why
It's the
I'm not
hook that
into
brings
all
you
like
back.
grindcore, the same thing. Because sometimes grindcore goes so far off the beaten path, it doesn't sound like music to me any longer.
Yeah,
You've got to
exactly
still have.
right.
You need a hook, no matter what it is.
Right.
You have to have something to bring you in. You can't just have. I need something that I can latch onto. I just can't have noise.
A bunch of random notes off the
Right,
That's-
yeah.
I don't appreciate that
A
at all.
wise man once said, "It's the hook that brings you back."
Right,
So-
it is.
And John
People's
Papa.
possession is listed there. That's what I was thinking when I heard
They were
that.
listed
that's one of
because the guy that did their album cover also did that one.
Oh yeah, well I mean, like that's when I think of tech death, I think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time when I think of tech death, I mean, there's so many bands that do it right now, but it's just like, honestly, it, to me, just doesn't represent what death metal was back in the day. Atheist, I can understand. I can understand bands like Cynic. Even with death, it started becoming more technical with like human individual thought patterns.
Well, sometimes it gets, like I said, too much. Like I said, Cynic to me, I'm not really into that much. They got to be a little too much. And same with like Pestilence. I love Testimony of the Ancients is fucking amazing.
Album, yes.
And then that Circles album. Is that what it's called? Circles?
Spears.
Whatever. I'm in the
Yeah,
right
we
thing.
got into a Facebook argument about it.
Right, Spears.
I didn't like Pestilence when they didn't have Martin Van Buren.
They still were good. They were still good. I love Martin Van Buren. He's like one of my favorite death metal vocalists ever. But they were still good afterwards. And Testament of the Ancients is fucking amazing. But then they released Spears, and it was like, what is this?
Spears or Spears?
Spears.
Spears.
Oh, okay.
They tried to get. It became like a proggy jazz.
I liked it.
Oh god, it was awful.
Oh, a lot of the bands back then were trying that out, as far as like because of bands like Cynic and Atheist, they wanted to expand their sound a bit, I guess. But I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to like death metal, I'm very like into the simple death metal. And if you're sitting there trying to cram 10 million notes into one riff, it's just like I don't understand it. And there's not a lot of feeling or emotion behind it. I mean, to me, music, any type of music, you have to have emotional feeling.
Well, what strikes an emotional chord with one person might not in another, and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's individual. I understand that, but at the same time, to me, like I said, when I started getting into it, it wasn't really technical. It was just about certain combination of riffs that just literally grabs you, and it didn't let go. I mean, with this quote modern day technical death metal, it's just like, to me, it just sounds like you went to guitar school and you want to try to impress your teacher by playing all these complicated riffs.
Right. It's
or
not
showing off what you learned in the lessons.
I think it's actually like a lot of death metal, and I'm gonna go on the record. If you listen to death metal, like 5% of it is good, 95% of it is shit. You know, with you know, like there's a lot of really shitty death metal bands that are just going there, and that's in the
mediocre more than shit.
And that's in the brutal section. That's in the progressive. That's in any. People are going old school, new school, whatever. Any kind of genre of that. There's a lot of shitty bands, and you got to go through it. And I think, you know, there's good bands and all things. And I thought these guys were decent.
Cool. I'm definitely gonna check it out. So
they had they were decent, and they. As long as they provide, doing their own thing, and they still provide a riff for me that I can latch on to, I'm happy. You know, because I'm simple. Matt will tell you, I'm a simple guy. Like, I'm more into the simple death metal. Like I said, I like the. That's why I love Swedish death metal so much. Not say it's simple, but they have a lot of really great down-tuned guitars, great riffs.
Groove and stuff.
Yeah, lots of groove. Right. It's why I like bands
groove is in the heart.
Like Obituary and Dying Fetus and bands like that, because they have a lot of groove behind what they're doing.
Dying Fetus is coming around soon, actually.
Yes.
At Mojo.
Well, I mean, like.
Well, they play Mojo every other month.
They only played there twice.
Just like Goathort. Goathort constantly plays at Mojo too. So.
Talking about epic characters. But I like, you know, I like it all as far as death metal goes. I don't, you know, music progresses, metal progresses. It always has.
So you're like me, and the 5% of bands that you like.
Yeah, I mean, I like the old
like
stuff too.
Like.
Just like Jeff, my favorite death metal band is Obituary. My favorite modern death metal band is Decrepit Birth, because I love progressive stuff and I love technical stuff too. I mean, to me, all of it's part of the scene.
I love Soilwork, and I get a lot of shit for it, but I really like them.
The first 3 albums are awesome.
I'm sure.
You like Soilwork? I really think they're great. Yeah.
I think the first 3 albums are great.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, wrap it up. I guess. We can agree to disagree.
Of course.
Everybody likes what we do like.
Yeah,
so if you're into the technical death metal, you guys should check the Nebulous. I thought they were good. Don't confuse them with the stoner doom band Nebula.
Okay. Nebulous.
Yeah.
O-U-S is it spelled?
Nebulous.
O-U-S?
Nebulous.
I'll check it out.
That was a wonderful discussion, guys.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me.
Very good.
Of course. Oh, you got to do the golf clap for that.
Right.
Can't even get a sound out of my palm.
It's not supposed to be a sound. It's just like